Big 12 champion.
Oh, so we talked a lot about this team earlier. So a lot of this is going to be dependent upon their quarterback's health. Utah.
Yeah, I'm all with Utah. You know, with Cam Rising coming back and the physical play that Utah, the way they played defense in the past, I just think they're the team to beat in that league.
Derek Green's running wild, brother. West Virginia's winning the Big 12. No players ranked in the top 100. Neil Brown grew a goatee. He put an American flag hat on and said, I'm sick of the disrespect, so am I. West Virginia wins the Big 12. Saw the goatee?
Saw the lack of respect. He's like, I don't know who's voting on this.
You said the goatee, though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's the
key.
That's the difference.
Yeah, West Virginia. Pat bribed me on the way over. He said if I picked West Virginia today, I get free plane rides to Raw every week. So
you're in.
That's good business.
I'm in.
Hey, that's good business, baby.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, forget it. I got Utah. Cam Rising's being back. He's healthy. I think Utah's the team to beat coming out of the Pac-12 into the Big 12.
All right, what about the SEC quickly?
SEC, I'm going with Georgia.
Like I said before, Georgia, Texas, and Alabama. But somebody's got to prove that they can beat Georgia. So I got to pick Georgia.
What's that coming down the track, Coach? Georgia.
Georgia Bulldogs for me. AJ Styles, one of the guys I work with, massive Bulldogs guy, and obviously they've been so impressive, national champions of the last couple of years as well.
Champions. I've got Georgia as well.
That was an easy one, right?
Easy.
Tough
Easy.
road games,
Yeah.
but they just have to get to the conference championship game. Who wins the national championship?
You didn't like my pick for the Big Ten. You're not going to like my national champion pick. I've got Oregon, the Ducks, winning it all. I'm going with Dylan Gabriel, baby. Let's go.
Well, that's because you like them skill guys.
There you have it.
But
exactly.
they do have a great quarterback, and they do have some fantastic skill. But I still go with the fact that somebody has got to prove that they can beat Georgia.
Who they playing? Coach, who you got them playing?
In the national championship game?
I got Oregon playing Georgia.
I think that's the top two teams. Oregon and Georgia.
Okay. To your point about Georgia improving it, it's like the way last year ended for the Georgia Bulldogs, with the way Kirby Smart coaches, with the way that locker room is pieced together. They weren't even allowed to complain about not being in a college football playoff because the Florida State fans were complaining so loud. They were the reigning champs, undefeated, lose to a great Alabama team last week of the year. I think Kirby has used all of that all off season. I think you got some mean dogs showing up this year with a lot to prove. Give me Georgia.
National champs. We're in Dublin City. We're in Ireland. I got to go with the fighting Irish Notre Dame.
Wow.
I'm telling you, right?
Wow.
Listen, last year, this street here, Dame Street, is one of the most historic streets in this city. They changed this street from Dame Street to Notre Dame Street. And Marcus Freeman has he's created a culture at Notre Dame at South Bend. It's unbelievable. He's going to be the guy to bring the gold back. And there's going to be two ND plates on this championship at the end of the year.
I love that.
Let's go Irish!
I love that. I don't know how I follow that. I'm with Dez. I picked Ohio State to win the Big Ten, but remember, now they get into the playoff. Who makes the run into the playoff? I have Dan Lanning, Dylan Gabriel, and Oregon playing Georgia in the national championship. I got Oregon winning it all.
Okay.
And so now that we've looked ahead, let's look to the precious present, what's about to kick off at Aviva Stadium. Coors Light Saturday selection. Florida State, Georgia Tech here in Dublin. Who wins the game, Desmond?
No, we talked about the trenches, and I just think that Florida State is just way too big in the trenches on both sides of the ball for Georgia Tech. So I got Florida State winning this game, but it's going to be a competitive game.
I think Georgia Tech is going to do a great job in this game of being able to run the ball, control the ball if they don't turn it over. If they can play a little better defense. But I really think State's got too much speed and too much size for Georgia Tech to overcome the first game of the season.
I'm really looking forward to watching Florida State run the football. You know, with this offensive line, the backs they have, taking some of the heat off. Look for DJ to use that running game to set up play action, take shots. I think Haynes King can hang around with Jamal Haynes, but I think Florida State wins this game.
I believe that I was going to pick Georgia Tech this morning because of a doofus at the hotel who was a Florida State fan. With that being said, everything that's happened this offseason. A lot has been said. This crowd was remarkable. And then when I saw those warm-up clips of that Florida State team and the way they were acting, give me the Seminoles by a lot. I like Florida State by a lot here in Ireland, but shout out to this Georgia Tech team and the faithful.
You know, my head says FSU. My head says FSU, but my heart says Georgia Tech because listen, this country.
This guy. I mean, this guy.
I love going against the grain. I love it. Let me hear you louder. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
I need some of that.
Thing is, this country is built on underdog stories, and Georgia Tech are an underdog, and we have a Kerry man doing you know what you used to do, punting for Georgia Tech. We gotta go for Georgia Tech. I gotta go.
He's taking.
I wouldn't be that back in the country if I didn't pick Georgia Tech.